Hi everyone, just going to do a quick roundup of the 4 colour pencils I've been comparing recently. I've been looking at the 4 best soft coloured pencils, different brands. Now these are just ones that I've got in my collection, so do let me know if you know of any other good soft colour pencils that I can try. But for the sake of my comparison, I split them into 2. The first couple that I did, I think, resemble each other the most, even though they're made up of different components. So Prismacolor, which is wax-based, and Renoir, which is oil-based. Now, despite that difference, I actually feel like these pencils feel the most similar when you're using them. So they're very creamy, very crumbly, and very vibrant. Now I've gone through, you'll have seen me swatch these and go through these in the individual videos themselves, which I'll link down below, but I just wanted to do kind of like an overall conclusion sort of thing and to tell you which ones I like the best and why. If I was to compare, if I was to pick out of Prismacolor and Renoir, it would be pretty tough. They're both very good. I absolutely adore how well the Prismacolor blends, especially when you're using white with it. So in this example here, I was making a pink. Now that worked really well. In the blending, as you can see, the results are very, very similar. With my favourite blending type, which is Zest It, the Prismacolor marginally looks brighter and better than the Renoir, but it's very marginal. You can hardly tell the difference there. But I did notice that with Copic markers we got a less good result there. When I say Copic marker, I mean the alcohol blender pen. Someone did ask me what Zest It is. Zest It is basically a brand of what do you call it? A brand of paint thinner, a bit like White Spirit or Gamsol. All of those are designed to do the same thing, and that is to thin paints such as oil paints, and it also works on colour pencils. The Zest It is quite a nice one because it, as the name suggests, it has a bit of a zingy, lemony smell to it. Not that you want to go around sniffing it, of course, but it's, you know, it's quite pleasant, and especially when you're only using it in small amounts. So yeah, I don't know which I could choose between these two, but obviously regarding the price, Renoirs are way cheaper than Prismacolors. But with the Renoirs, you don't have any information on light fastness or anything like that. The other two that I compared were the Lyra Rembrandt Polycolour and the Muji pencils. Again, it's a similar situation. This brand here we do have information on, like the Prismacolors, whereas the Muji we don't have any information as to, you know, colour names and light fastness and so forth. Also worth mentioning that you can't buy open stock of either Renoir or the Muji, so that could also be a problem. But these two, I thought, I paired these together because they felt the most similar in their texture. So they're not quite as crumbly and soft as the Prismacolor and Renoirs, but they are kind of like a cross between these and the more hard pencils. So, so I would say that these ones are kind of a good midway compromise between the really, really soft pencils and the harder pencils. Such as Polychromos. So yeah, and out of these ones I would say that I do prefer the Muji. One of the downsides with the Muji ones is that the pack of 12 doesn't come with a white, but it does come with a skin tone, which is really quite interesting and probably very helpful if you enjoy drawing people. So yeah. look at the individual videos if you want to see a bit more about, you know, how well these blend and so forth, and how I did these swatches. But for this video, I want to kind of like do an overall comparison, or give my overall opinions. Now I have the Marco Renoir and the Muji I bought quite a while ago, so I no longer have the packaging for those. The Marco Renoirs I actually bought a really big pack, I think it was a pack of 48. And the Muji I got the pack of 12 full-length pencils, so that's these ones here, but I also bought a pack of 36 of the smaller ones, so I do have quite a few colours of those, and I was able to get the white from the other pack to use for the blending test here. Now the Prismacolor and the Lyra I did buy more recently. They've got all the information you need on the back of the tin. Lyra Rembrandt Polycolour pencils, they come in a tin as well, and they have information on the back. Particularly useful is the fact that they have their little star rating here on the back, so you can see the colours there, and it tells you how good the light fast rating is. So 3 stars is extremely good extremely good light fastness. 2 stars is good light fastness, and 1 star is light fastness satisfying, and they are pretty much all 3 stars. In fact, they are all 3 stars, those colours, so that's brilliant. Something interesting to note though is how the Marco Renoir pencils, I did find, when I was trying to research them, I did find in a colour pencil, not sure if it was a colour pencil forum online or if it was just a general art forum, but I did find a discussion about these, and someone had bought the set of these and also the set of the what were they, the Brunnseal design pencils, and they did a comparison and they found that they were pretty much exactly the same, even so far as the shades of the colours and the, you know, the barrels and everything. So I think it's pretty safe to say that if you are interested in the Brunnseal design pencils, go for the Marco Renoirs. And assuming that they are exactly the same, just branded differently, then you may also be able to find the light fastness information on the Brunnseal design pencils, because they're also artist quality. So that's great, because we've got these really, really soft, really pigmented, really nice pencils here. They're really cheap, and apparently they are exactly the same as the Brunnseal design one, so that is a bargain in my eyes. But if I had to choose out of all 4 of these brands, I have mentioned before that for me light fastness doesn't actually matter, because I don't sell any colour pencil art. I tend to do most of it as part of pattern design and basically artwork that I'm going to scan in and do on the computer. So for me, light fastness isn't, you know, a big deal. So for me personally, my absolute favourite out of these 4 has to be the Muji colour pencils. Now I adore all of them, but these were kind of good all-rounders. You know, they sharpen really well, they're not so soft as to break, but they're not hard either. They blend really well, they're really vibrant, they go down smoothly. You know, I just absolutely love them. Looking at my drawings that I did with each of them, this one's the Prismacolor one. Now they are super, super, super creamy, and I can see why people love them. I highly recommend them actually, especially if you want a light fast pencil, you know, guaranteed light fast information and so forth. I can highly recommend the Prismacolor Premiers. I really like them, and I certainly wouldn't turn my nose up at getting more. Yeah, really like them. This one is my Muji drawing, and oh, I just really, really enjoyed using them. I can't believe that a completely plain, understated, unbranded colour pencil from a shop that you wouldn't expect to find them in could be so good. And it makes me wonder whether they're modelled on any other types of pencils, whether, you know, like the Marco Renoirs, whether these are actually, you know, a good pencil, but have been sort of developed as these plain, understated ones for the Muji shop, but perhaps they're branded up differently elsewhere. Who knows? I haven't found them to match any of my other pencils yet, but I will keep an eye out for that and see if I can figure out if they're available under any other brands. But what I found with these were that, you know, it wasn't... it kind of went down really smoothly. I didn't have any trouble with the pigment kind of building up, or sort of the paper kind of buckling, or you know, the fibres of the paper moving with this one. So just absolutely fantastic colour pencil. The Lyra Rembrandt, I'd have to say, are probably my least favourite of the four. I did find they felt a little bit scratchy when I was using them. Not hugely, but enough to annoy me. And it was difficult to use just the 12 colours, but I mean that's not really an issue because you can buy more colours, and of course you can blend and so forth. But I didn't really enjoy using this pack of 12 as much as the other brands. Results were pretty nice anyway, so I definitely recommend you give them a try. Maybe I was just unlucky with mine feeling scratchy, but yeah, I'd say they're my least favourite out of the four. And then the Marco Renoir, I didn't actually try that when I did this drawing. I didn't actually use any blending solutions or anything like that, so the results could probably have been better. But yeah, I just layered a few colours on top of one another, and although they're very vibrant and very nice, I would say they weren't blending quite as well as some of the others, like the Prismacolors, but they're super creamy and vibrant and just absolutely gorgeous to work with. I did do a little blending test on some brown card. So the top one here is the Lyra Polycolour, the second one along is the Muji, third one is Prismacolor, and the fourth one is the Marco Renoir. So you can see that they all blend extremely well, actually. I would have to say though that out of these four, my favourite kind of result was the Muji one. I'd say that, you know, that was really, really effective and looks so smooth and nice on the paper. They're all very vibrant and nice in their own way. If I move the paper like this, I'd say that the Prismacolor, I don't know if you can see it shimmering, but the Prismacolor is the one that kind of shines the most, which isn't surprising given that it's wax based. But yeah, I'm just really impressed with the Muji. I'd say Muji are my favourite. Definitely try and get some if you can. They do sell them on their website, so that's good. But they've got them in there. Sometimes they have them in their stores as well. It depends how big the store is and what stock they've got in. But I've been to the Muji shop on Oxford Street in London a few times, and they've had some of the pencils in there when I've gone in there. But of course Muji, they don't have shops everywhere, so if you're lucky enough to have a Muji shop, go in and you'll probably find that they've got one of the packs open so you can try them. But yeah, definitely, if you're not hugely concerned about light fastness, then definitely try the Muji colour pencils and the Marco Renoir pencils because they're such good value for money. But other than that, I'd have to say Prismacolor would be the branded one to go for the soft colour pencils.